take your time there. You sat, you didn't give her a moment to settle back, and you went right to the hand. Long rein. Oh, go ahead. Yeah, do it again. Yes. So it's going to be sit, brakes, then if I need the hand. Look at that walk now.
Yeah. No, I think she's, the horse is getting it. And then I think, like I said, when you asked Jill to just give them the information of how, like when I said to you, well, how do I do it? Do you want me to leg? What do you want me to do to get them to do that? Shh, 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 shh.
Yeah, and there's not a recipe book. It's relative to what's going on that day, how they're feeling, are they responding to my aid? Do I need more of this and less of that at this moment?
Yeah.
And maybe first one was great. Second one, she was like, that's a little bit like hard work. Let me experiment with where I'm comfortable.
But yeah, I think the secret is to get the bend and get this and keep the length of neck. And that's where she is right now, right?
And you get access to the length of neck when you have access to the hips. Because if we just tried to address it in the front end and we didn't have this, then we have a horse pushing from out here. Now, the only thing they have to support themselves is their front end. And the whole point is we're trying to lighten up the front end. So if I do this, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're driving him down here.
Yeah. And again, Ella loves to knock them down at the front end. So the more that we can just figure out that frame and that connection, then she can engage it, and then she can lift up, not stay here and plow.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. So, great exercises are riding the outside of a line. So say you've got the 4 on the circle, or you're just use the leg yielding.
Yeah.
So that you're engaging rather than trying to compensate for cutting in or falling out. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
So you're actively riding the bend.
Right.
Not trying to recover. So the next step of this would be when you're riding at large is using your corners. Go ahead and use the rail and use the corners so that you're actively riding into the corners, not avoiding them. Give her a little breather and let's see what you got in the canter. And please ask me questions, that's why I'm here. Do you feel a difference? Yeah. Or does she feel like you have more options? Like, we're really visual creatures. This is what we see. We also, especially when we're still learning, these are our go-tos. They will let us down because this is what's giving us our balance, our power, our direction. Bending is super, super important. That's what gives us access. We want to make sure that at any time we have access to supple rib cage. Like if she doesn't come back down a line, she probably feels like this, right? Like this is really tight, her neck is short, and she gets here off the ground. So how much easier would it be if she was just that little bit softer? So we can keep like more of a one of the ways I like to think about it, so the horse's jaw, right? It's triangular shaped, tongue in the middle. When you take on both reins, what happens?
The head goes up.
Right, because you're coming against a solid object. Now what if I have just a little bit here? A little bit, in the direction that I'm going. Well, think of it this way. When you're cantering, okay, a trot is a straight gait,
Right.
right? Going from diagonal to diagonal. There's not really a left and right side. A canter has a lateral component. There is definitely a left and a right. So, if you use that to your advantage, you have that little bit of bending. Now you have that little bit of control, because now that I have that tiny bit of bending, I also have access to that rib cage, and I can shorten it. I can bring them back onto their hind legs. I'm set up for where I'm going for the next jump, because it's not a restrictive hand. It's just more of a directional aid and a keeping you soft aid. Does that make sense? You're going down a line, so you're going straight towards that mark. I have just the tiniest bit of softening on the lead I'm on.
If you bent slightly to the left.
Slightly. Access. Not here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because what happens? You get here, you're shortening down a line. I want to shorten here. Down here, and I do this. What happens?
Well, she brings it, she shortens her neck and
She
then
shortens her neck, nothing happens behind her, shoulders get stiff. Now, what if I'm here? And I close my knee and thigh, so my leg is on. Then you have, and now I've built power while I've shortened, rather than taking everything away.
Yeah. And she is a head shaker, you know, like so probably getting her in that little bit of bend, you know, we could control the head shaking.
Canter pole courses.
Yeah.
And Richard Spooner does this. I actually went to his Gold Star Clinic a few years ago. It was fabulous. One of the things he has riders do is they always have a slight bend in the direction they're going.
Yeah.
And if they're riding a turn, coming off a turn, coming down this line, you're going to make a roll back here.
Yeah.
As you're going down this line, as you get to that jump, you're changing the bend to the new direction you're going to go. It sets you up to land on the correct lead. It sets you up to be riding through and away from the jump, so you're not wasting time. You're
Right.
not landing, recovering, right? You get away. Now as you come close to that jump, I'm sitting deep. My leg is on. I have a little bend, so I have a little softening, so I'm soft off the ground, and I'm ready to go to my next jump. So it's always about setting you up for the next question.
Right.
All right, let's see a little canter. You can trot a circle if you need to. Let's go to the left first. I'll try to be consistent for my own brain. So, before you pick up the trot here, nice walk. Move her over a little bit to activate the hind legs. And then just close your leg and pick up the trot. Rather than reeling her in and shortening her neck before you've asked her to do anything, see if we can keep that shape by keeping the hind legs working. All right, so she's a little bit stiff here, yes? So what would be a good way to address that? pretty soon, when you school this religiously and consistent, then it can just be a little bit of a, hey, can you soften your rib cage? It doesn't have to be a big setup and move. It can be just a, how are you feeling? Nice. Don't pull her head down. Access the hind leg. And see if her head and neck will drop. Good. Yes, ma'am. Good. And once she's softened, then you close your outside leg and go forward. Yes. Good. And when she's nice and soft like this, you can soften your inside rein. You can keep the bend with a soft inside rein when they understand those aids and they're nice and soft. Beautiful. Now what happened when you softened that inside rein, her whole neck softened and she actually dropped into the shape rather than being held in the shape. Can you feel the difference? Good. When that happens, do you feel her fill up your outside leg?
Yeah.
So all of a sudden that outside leg has a place. Do you ever feel like it's trying to find her? Yeah. So when you get that softening and the inside hind leg is coming up underneath her center of gravity, all of a sudden she softens and there's a place for us. It's easy to find the middle of the saddle. Good, soften that inside rein again. Yes. So you ask her to bend and then you let her bend. If she's getting stuck in the neck, leg, hind leg. Push her hind legs out. Yep. Oh, what happened? Her hind leg moved, her head dropped. Yes, ma'am. Okay, now I want you to slow it down a little bit. Deep breath, exhale, close your knee and thigh. So you're just applying a little bit of a break with your seat without shortening the neck. Oh, nice. Outside leg back, look up and canter. Good. What do you think of this canter?
Not through.
Okay. Ding, ding, ding. I want you to soften your outside rein. Go forward, go forward, go forward. Both, yep, both lower legs. Boom, boom. Go, go, go. Go ahead, go, go. Don't worry about it. We can get that down. That's easy. Yes. Okay, now we're going to shorten her. We're going to do it by sitting, head back, close your knee and thigh a little bit, keep the bend. So the knee and thigh helps keep that leg on. So we have leg, but we're asking him to canter up this way a little bit more. Good. And send her over and forward. Long neck, go, go. Sit deep, close your knee and thigh, shorten the canter. Keep the active. Oh, that was beautiful. Good. And forward, go. Tell her she's good. Lengthen her neck, let her go. Yep, yep, yep. Beautiful. Deep breath, exhale. Close your knee and thigh, shorten the canter. Now in the shorter canter, I want you to just squeeze the outside rein when the inside front leg is touching down. So your half halt will be on the now. Oh, good. Feel that? Yeah. And out. Don't ask her to do too much. Beautiful. Loose rein, pet her, big canter. Don't cross that outside rein. outside leg if you need to keep her from drifting. Bring her hip towards me if she's drifting. Sit deep, close your knee and thigh. Bring her hip towards me. Bring her hip towards me. Good. If you need to use the outside rein, it touches and then releases, and it'd be on the and now, and now, now. Yes, now, and then just sit there. Just sit there. Can she carry me? Ooh, beautiful. Good. Out on the big circle. Nice. Exhale. Think 1, 2, 1, 2, and trot. Close your knee and thigh, change your rhythm. Good. That was really well done. You didn't shorten her neck in the down transition. Loosen up. She's in beautiful balance. Let her use her whole body. Jill, that's beautiful. How's that feel? She looks fancy. Good. Don't shorten her neck. Just sit deep. Exhale, knee and thigh closed, and walk. Longest neck possible. Yes. Better. Good job. How'd that feel?
Really good.
Yeah. And good downward transition, eh? Because she can get a bit rooty in the downward. So there she just stepped down nicely into the
balance.
trot.
And your hands were so beautiful, there was nothing stopping her, so it was easy for her to step in. 'Cause
Yeah.
we're switching gears, right? There are 3 different gaits, walk, trot, canter. So if we just change the rhythm and we allow them to downshift rather than us shutting them down,
Yeah.
then they don't need to get all awkward.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah.
So the reason I'm really careful with the outside rein until it can actually be useful. Otherwise, again, it shuts them down. So when she's in that frame and all of a sudden that outside rein is there and available, it's got to be on a half halt. And if you use it, squeeze and release, squeeze and release. I'm asking you to do it when that inside front leg is on the ground, because that is the moment when the inside hind leg is coming off the ground, and that is the only time I can change its flight, right? I can't change where it goes when it's here. I can when it's here. So when you get that little extra support, that little half halt, I don't know if you can feel it, but all of a sudden she goes here. Can you feel that? All of a sudden the canter kind of gets loftier.
Yeah.
It's more like a merry-go-round. You're
Right. Yeah. It's kind of good. Comes back.
they get here,
Yeah.
and then you try to get out of it, and you're like, and we can't go anywhere. That's what your mare was doing.
Yeah.
When that we were making those half halts and they were coming all the way through.
Yeah.
All of a sudden she's here,
Yeah.
and that's your ab workout. That's your strength building. Questions?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. Comments? Do you notice anything?
I'm using my leg a lot more. My hand is just there, like holding.
Yeah.
And then I think if we
And
can,
think how much more pleasant that is for her.
yeah.
Right.
And then we're getting that length of neck, but we're still asking for the shape, but we're not getting the shape by pulling. And
Exactly.
that's why that's you'll see it better, I think, with Campbell, that he's got a longer neck and he gets here, as opposed to that real, like we were seeing with her, he's even more dramatic because his neck is a lot
Yeah.
longer.
Well, when you did the open and close, she opened and closed here rather than here.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
It should be more comfortable to sit to.
Yeah.
I'm not disturbing. I just thought while you're having a walk break,
I'll get a hi and a hello and a hug and a.
just a little.
Hang on a sec, I
While
gotta
you're
get.
taking this little
Hi,
break here.
Guy, how are ya?
I'm good, and you?
Good to see you.
Nice to see you.
This is my friend Kim Evans. This is John
Hi, nice to
McPherson.
meet you, Kim.
Nice to
He's a
meet you.
dressage man. He's got great hair and he's a dressage man. And he comes to